What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're back with a new rebuild for you, and this time we're starting the Premier League as we're taking over Nottingham Forest. Can we get Nottingham Forest back into European contention and try and win them some European silverware along the way? It's a 5-year rebuild. How far can we take Nottingham Forest in just 5 years? Let's dive in and find out. But of course, before we do dive in though, if you're new around here and you haven't already, please make sure, if you can do, of course, hit that subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up. So let's dive in and have a look at how Nottingham Forest look at the start of season number 1. As you can see on the screen right now, we come in is the year 2023, the start of a brand new season, and we are now the manager of Nottingham Forest. I'm going to start this rebuild by looking at the squad view here and have a look at some of our key players this season. So according to the star ratings right now, 2 of our best players are actually our 2 goalkeepers in Adaces and Matt Turner, of course, the American international goalkeeper as well in the team for us right now. So we do have 2 keepers, but already 2 of our best players within this save, with Sanger and Felipe, also rated 3.5 stars, joined by Dominguez and Gonzalo Montiel. Now, of course, Montiel is on loan this season from Sevilla, so if we can keep him around for a few seasons, who knows right now, but there's a good core depth of players here, of course. If we don't have him, we've got lots of Serge Aurier as a good backup there. Willy Bolly, formerly of Wolves. Nuno Tavares of Arsenal, and so many more. Gibbs, what is a big money signing for? Can we get the play around this guy and make him a vocal point of that midfield? Who knows? We're going to dive in and see how we get on in season number 1. But first, what tactic are we using for this one? So for this one, we're going to be using the MurphFM Overload 4-2-4 tactic. And we're going to our best 11 right now to get a bit of a brief idea of how we could look going into this season. It's not a bad team, to be fair. A 1 year up front with Origi, Hudson-Odoi, Alanga on the wings, Sanger, Danilo in that midfield. So no Gibbs White in the starting 11 as well, oddly enough. Maybe we can try and move into a more of a volante role, possibly, going into this rebuild in the next few seasons. But starting out, looking at that team right now, it's a pretty darn good team. Quite happy with the team we do have to start the first season. And I feel there's enough here to try and challenge at least for top half in the first season. So let's find out now. Let's go to the end of the season number 1 and find out how we've gotten on with Nottingham Forest in season number 1. And we are back at the end of season number 1. We'll start off with the Carabao Cup being knocked out in the 3rd round by Tottenham Hotspur. Not a great showing. Going out early doors, losing 2-1 Tottenham Hotspur, and then in that one, we go out of the Carabao Cup nice and early doors. And then Birmingham City actually knocked us out in the 5th round here of the Carabao and the FA Cup, on penalties as well. It went all the way to penalties. We can't actually view the fixture because it was so long ago now, but being knocked out by my own club, a championship club though, that's not great from the boys. It's not great from the boys indeed. But the Premier League is the important one this season. How can we get on in the Premier League? We were asked to avoid relegation, and we've done that quite easily, really. Get a top half finish in our first season here at Nottingham Forest. See now, we finished 9th in the league this season. It's not a bad first season, really. Winning 17 games, drawing 4, but we did lose 17 games this season, scoring 65 goals. So we scored quite a few goals, but we also conceded 70 goals this season. So a lot of work needs to be done in the defence, it seems, this season. But yeah, 9th place, first season. That's not a bad return, really, in terms of the players. Who's been our best outstanding players for this season? In terms of goal-wise, Alanga got 16 goals this season with 7 assists. Ioane got 13 goals, 5 assists. Origi comes on loan from AC Milan this season only with 10 goals as well. So a good return for him. We've Hudson-Odoi getting 8 and 7 as well, and the list goes on from there. So a pretty good first season for Nottingham Forest. So we do get a top half finish in our first season in the job here at Nottingham Forest. It looks a pretty darn good way to get us started here. In terms of budget-wise, 45 million to spend in that first window. That's not going to be bad at all. Let's dive now to the start of season number 2 and see how we've managed to spend all of that money. Right, we come back in now at the start of season number 2. We're a few weeks, about 2 weeks away now from the start of the Premier League season starting again. Pre-season are pretty darn good. 4-2 victory, 2-1 victory there. You can see in the top left corner of your screens right now. And we've brought in some brand new players into this Nottingham Forest side. Let's dive into our transfer business, see what has actually been happening here at Nottingham Forest. So outgoings firstly, the big ones. Morgan Gibbs White has gone. He didn't play much last season and thought there's a bit of money there, 25 million. We're going to get him out the door. Off he goes. Only 24 years of age as well, so a good bit of time about him still, but he weren't going to get used, so he went. And joining him straight away was Ola Anya, both going to the same club, 20 million, bit more money in the door. Love to see it. He weren't going to play this season. We bought a better right back, so Aina went out the door. Also, Aurea Mangala also went out for £12 million here. We're not going to use Mangala this season. I do feel we've got some better options at midfield now, and Mangala can be easily moved on. And away he goes out of that midfield. Laraya, Hammond, Johnson, a few cheaper ones that went out the door then, and a bunch of free transfers down below there. No big ones, really. Wayne Hennessy, Scott McKenna, probably been the bigger ones, really. Free transfers out the door. See you later, because we replaced Jack pretty darn nicely. So, transfers in there. What has been happening over here at Nottingham Forest? Firstly, free looker here comes comes in. The former West Ham man, PSG guy, now comes in to secure up our defence. We want some better centre-backs going into the new season. I mentioned previously, we can see a lot of goals last season. I do feel like Kahir can come into that defence now and very much shore things up for us. Of course, Schalke, PSG, went to West Ham, got a loan to Burnley last season, only played 14 appearances in the Premier League. So hopefully he's still going to be good enough. In my eyes, he looks more than capable enough, definitely a good enough player to be part of this team and help move Nottingham Forest now onto the next step, aiming towards European football. So we put in one centre back and we thought, you know what, we probably should get some more defenders in. Speaking of, Jesus Vasquez came as our new left back for this season. Very good player, 21 years of age, some great crossing, dribbling ability, acceleration, balance, stamina, all really high numbers up there as well. At 21 years of age, can definitely develop to be one of the better left backs in FM24. I feel this year personally for me. So I guess we'll see during this save, can he become what I'm looking for as being that star quality, a world-class quality left back here for Nottingham Forest. But we're going to reverse things now, back now to before July 1st, because transfer did happen before the window did open. And a big one did leave there as well in Anthony Elanga. He also went off to Saudi Arabia. Al Sayed came in for him. 25 million out the door he went. And we did bring in some replacements straight away, starting with Martin Batunia coming in from Zagreb. A young centre midfielder, can play CDM as well. I do feel like in one of those Volante roles possibly, he could probably come in there and fill in quite nicely and hopefully become a bit of a starlet in this team in that role. Joining him then, of course, was Kaiki from Almira for 10.5 million. 6'1" centre-back option, quite young, 20 years of age, Brazilian lad. Looks really, really good in FM this year again, so we thought let's get him in nice and early doors and see how he develops in the game for us. And speaking of Brazilians, Marcus Leonardo also made the switch from Santos over to Nottingham Forest. Leonardo's developed in the last 2 FMs now really, really well. And I thought, you know what? It's a new game, FM24. Let's try him out in this one as well and see how he develops for us in this game. So yeah, some outgoings there, some incomings there as well. And then mentioning further forward, there were a few more that came in. Starting off with Savio from Soroyas, another Brazilian player. A lot of Brazilian players coming into Nottingham Forest, it seems, this window. Savio, again, quite a young player, 20 years of age, can play on the wing, can play on the right, can play on the left. I do quite like this guy, and again, I feel like he could be one of our wingers going forward for the next few seasons. So, they came in, and then we went to Brentford and took Keane Lewis Potter to play on the other wing. Of course, Alanga went as well, so we need someone on the left-hand side this season as well. Hudson-Odoi going out the door as well, so Lewis Potter coming in at this point looked a very good idea to me. He can play cam, he can play on the right, he can play on the left. Very versatile player, very good attributes across the board as well. Lots of 14s and 13s in there, 23 years of age. Of course, being English as well really helps with a homegrown player as well. Get him in there ready for European football. So bringing in Lewis Potter seemed like a bit of a smart move, to be fair. A bit more money than I wanted to pay though, honestly, 21 million for him, but more than capable of being part of this side. Then after that, we had 2 low moves come in, starting off with Cole Palmer from Chelsea. Another winger coming in as well. Another winger. Cole Palmer joins us now on loan from Chelsea for the season. Of course, in real life, he's been literally dragging Chelsea up the league table with his goals and from the spot, getting a lot of goals from penalties this season. In game, though, 14 penalties. I mean, in real life, players a bit higher than that right now, I'd have to say, because he's doing very, very well. But Cole Palmer comes in now as a versatile winger for us for the rest of this season. Joined then by Arthur on loan from Bayer Leverkusen. A new right-back option, of course. We did lose Aina, so we need someone else to come in that right-hand side. And we had a loan move last season. He's now gone, so we need someone else who can come start this season. So Arthur comes on loan from Bayer Leverkusen. 21 years of age, looks really good. Had 1 Brazil cap already. I do feel like, again, this guy can really develop in the game and really become useful for us this season in the Premier League. So speaking of the Premier League, we'll be kicking off the Premier League season with Manchester United, Bournemouth and Man City in our first 3 games. So a bit of a hard start to get us started in this campaign. Again, ideally, top off finish this time. See how we go from there and hopefully try and push for European football from season 3 onwards. So let's go find out now how we've gotten on during season number 2. And we are back at the end of season number 2. And we'll start with the Cups first. If we look now, Carabao Cup, 3rd round defeat to Sheffield United. We have a no luck so far in the domestic competitions, joined them by an FA Cup exit to the hands of Manchester United, which of course isn't as bad really. Sheffield United probably should be beating them. But it's the league table as the important one in the season. How do we get on in the Premier League table? You can see now on screen, we got European football finishing 7th in the Premier League with Nottingham Forest in season number 2. Playing 38 games, winning 21, drawing 7, only losing 10 games this season. Much, much better return. Scoring 74 goals and conceding 45 goals this season. That is not a bad return. And sees Nottingham Forest go into the European spots, getting Europa Conference League football, going into season number 3. So already back into European football already in just the first 2 seasons. How far can we push this team going now into season number 3? Before that, though, financially, we have 50 million in the bank again. A lot of money to spend again this window. Our overall balance is quite bad, though, at minus 71 million. So hopefully we can try and fix that with some outgoings happening this season. Team-wise now, this is how we're looking. We can see as well, we actually brought in another body following the transfer deadline that we saw last time out. Michael Elise joined Nottingham Forest as well. So Elise comes in now as our new permanent winger on that right-hand side, cutting onto his left foot. And he's done a pretty good job this season, getting 6 assists and 2 goals since coming in the January, playing 13 games since that January move. So looking good at the back now, pretty solid, a lot of good players in there now. Elise joining them really adds to that as well. So I'm quite happy with how this team looks. But again, the window's open and it's time to spend some more money as we go now into season number 3. So we are back ahead of the new season starting very, very shortly, of course. Before the season actually starts, our Europa Conference League campaign actually starts first. You can see on screen right now. But a few friendlies, and then we go straight in the second leg qualifying path here, playing Viking Gotha over there. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how we get on. That's happening at the end of this month before diving then straight into the Premier League season, starting with Wolves, Man City and Chelsea. Again, another hard start here for Nottingham Forest in the Premier League. But Conference League football this season as well. How can we get on the Conference League and, of course, the Premier League? Premier League, again, trying to aim for European spots this season will be the key for me this season, trying to aim for those European spots. But yeah, transfer business-wise, what has been happening here at Nottingham Forest? What have we been doing? Because, again, you see right now, transfer budget-wise, 51 million still in the bank. Available budget still 200,000. And we have been quite busy still within the transfer window. So we mentioned last time out about Elise. We actually had Brendan Johnson on loan throughout the season as well, but he didn't really play much. And then things got interesting going on to June 1st. Because firstly, Ivan Toney came in for 35 million. I wanted a better goal scorer than last season, and Ivan Toney can be just that. 29 years of age now. He looks really, really good in game. With him up front alongside Awoni and, of course, Marcus Leonardo as well. It's a very good front three now we can use, rotating in and out with these 3 players being our main vocal point for goals in the new season. 35 million. It's a big, big move for Toney, but I do feel like it's definitely worthwhile doing. We've brought in Alex Vale on loan from Barcelona for this season. Good left-back option. Looks really, really solid to be fair. So I'm hopeful he can be one of our key guys this season. We have brought in another option as well, which we'll get into in just a moment. But of course, Jesus Vasquez, who came in last season as well. So again, bit of competition now for those boys, both competing for that left-back position for the new season. Going now forwards again. Thiago Almada came in next from Atlanta, of course, over in the United States. £8 million is an absolute bargain for this player. He looks so, so good. Now, I'm thinking more so he'll play on this left-hand side this season with Elise on the other side as well. So Almada and Elise on those sides, cutting inside, supporting our strikers this season, could equal quite a lot of goals. What a player, 24 years of age now, bargain pick. I mean, straight away, only value between 16 and 22 million. Straight away, only a bit of a retail value there if we were to move him on in the future. Moving forward then, Piero Hincapié came in from Bayer Leverkusen for 45 million. This was the big one really for me. I did think at first, possible left back, but now we decided he's going to be our left centre back going into this brand new season. He's only 6 foot, but jump reach of 13. I think there's enough there to get the job done. I do feel like he's going to be good enough there as well. He could play further out wide if need be, but comes in now as our new left centre-back option. Welcome into him. And then we went to spend 16.5 million on Alistair Johnson, the Canadian who was playing at Celtic just last season. Looks pretty good in game, to be fair. He's been at Celtic for a few years now, actually, in real life. I had no idea who he was. Never heard of him in real life because don't really find much catch football, to be honest. But 16.5 million, quite a lot of money spent on him, and he does look pretty darn good. 26 years of age now. Good pace, good acceleration, good crossing, a lot of decision making, good work rate, teamwork, positioning, all the key attributes I look for my fullbacks. He ticks all those boxes very nicely. So we're going to give him a go and see how he gets on within this rebuild. So onto the outgoings for the new season. Right, Danilo went to Dortmund for 32 million. Hudson-Odoi leaving us for West Ham for 26 million. Nico Williams went to Al Hilal for 20 million. And Omar Rich has been another big one for 13.5 million over to Hoffenheim. Emmanuel Dennis, Pyle, a few other ones left along the books as well there, but no one we're really, really using in this sale so far. So they're all out the door. And we bought in one last transfer as well. Harwood Bayes comes on a free transfer. Again, it's more about bringing in some English players now, of course, for registration reasons. He looks pretty good. Still centre-back option. Probably won't be a starter for us, but a good rotational player nonetheless. I mean, only 25 grand a week. We'll take that all day long. And now moving into season number 3, this is how the team is currently looking now to give you a bit of an update of how things have been going. Elise, Almada and Toney up front with Ione now. Sanguet in that CDM role, playing that Volante role, still doing very, very good there so far. Petunia next to him, of course, but on the bench, there's quite good options in there as well, of course, as well. Vale comes at left back now, replacing Jesus Vasquez, but again, another rotation option for him. Johnson on the right-hand side, Nia Carter, Hincapié in that left centre-back position, of course, and Matt Turner still keeps his position in goal. The American still keeps his role in this team. But again, bench-wise, looking here, like to Kahia, Leonardo, Kaiki, Savio, the list goes on. The bench is very solid. The first team looks very, very solid. I'm hopeful for another top half formation, ideally get some more European football as we go now and see how we get on in season number 3. So we are back now at the end of season number 3, and somehow We found our way in the Champions League football. For some reason, there's 6 spots going in the Champions League this season. Something must have happened. Absolute madness in the Premier League. But Nottingham Forest come 6th this season, playing 38 games, winning 18, drawing 10, losing 10 all season, scoring 72 goals, conceded 59 goals. That's a hell of a lot of goals compared to other teams around us. So that is, again, another big concern at the back for us. But somehow, we've got Nottingham Forest back into the UEFA Champions League, finishing 6th this season in the Premier League. What an absolute bomb. I did not expect that at all. Did not expect that one bit of Champions League football already with this team. So we're already pushing on and doing it pretty darn good at finishing 6th in the Premier League. But of course, as well, we're in the Europa Conference League, and this season we did really well. We actually managed to win the Europa Conference League with Nottingham Forest in a 4-0 victory in the final, beating Anderlecht in that final. Nottingham Forest, our first bit of silverware at the job, and a European trophy. Again, Nottingham Forest, their first European trophy since winning the Champions League all those years ago. We now managed to win a European trophy here at Nottingham Forest. Some great goals. Armada as well, stealing the show, getting a brace in this one. Looks really, really good yet again. First half, 3 goals already in the bag. It looked comfortable. Second half, we kicked things off, and straight away, another goal. This one, Ione puts it over the keeper and made it 4. Which is a big result for Nottingham Forest, winning our first bit of silverware to save, winning the Europa Conference League. And as we go through the fixtures now from the season, you can see now the FA Cup, we got knocked out in the 3rd round in a replay versus Ipswich. So an awful showing yet again in that competition. And in the Carabao Cup, we got knocked out by Lincoln. How embarrassing is that? We've won a European trophy and lost to Lincoln this season. It's not great from the guys. It's not great. But I mean, a very good season overall. Beating some big teams, like we beat Man City 3-2 in this one. Sanger, Leonardo and Almada getting the goals, and Haaland late penalty was not enough for Man City to bring them back into that one. Some really big results throughout the season, seeing us manage to get Champions League football this season. A great result for the boys. European football is here yet again for Nottingham Forest. So going into season number 4, we have Champions League football locked in spot now for Nottingham Forest. What are the odds of getting Nottingham Forest another Champions League trophy in these next 2 seasons? Probably pretty darn low, right? Let's go find out. We'll have a look now at the start of season number 4. What transfer business we've done and how we look ahead of our first Champions League campaign within this rebuild. So we've come back now a little into the season, 2 games into the season. I was trying to get some more transfer business done before we came back for season number 4. But you can see on screen already, we've already beaten Blackburn. And we've even beaten Tottenham Hotspur 3-2 with goals from Callum Wender, who we'll get onto in a moment, Usman Diamonde, who we'll get onto in just a moment, and Jonathan Bamba, who again, we'll get onto in just a moment, but there you go. There's 3 spoilers there on the transfer business happened already going into season number 4. So yeah, let's touch on that then. Transfer-wise, what has been happening here at Nottingham Forest? Of course, the end of last season, yeah, Lionel Messi has joined Nottingham Forest. He must have wanted Champions League football. He's came over. He doesn't have long left. He's going to retire soon, but he has come over for a little stint here at Nottingham Forest. He'll be doing 1 season here at Nottingham Forest. Leo Messi, welcome to the City grounds. Yeah, speechless. Messi comes to Nottingham Forest. What else could have happened? What else could have happened? So we'll start things off with the outgoings here on the right-hand side of the screen. Sanger left for Al Nassr for 62 million. Saudi Arabia went absolutely mental this summer, spending a lot of money on some Nottingham Forest players. Because he wasn't the only one. Ione also went out the club for 60 million. 122 million made just from those 2 players alone. 2 players that already started at Nottingham Forest at the very start of the save. We let some youth players go then for the rest of the players here, including Neil Carter going on a free transfer. He didn't want to re-sign with us. I don't know why exactly. I think he's getting more money. 56 grand a week. Probably more money was offering ourselves. So off he goes as well. So 3 players that were probably starting last season have all gone out the door now, which means you've had to spend quite a bit of money to try and replace those players. Starting with Jerry Just coming in from Sporting on a free transfer. Very good versatile player, can play through right back and play CDN, can play centre back as well. We don't know where he'll play this season yet. Probably a bit of a backup player this season, but he looks pretty darn good indeed. But then with Southampton spent 21 million on Chik Diakore. He's 26 years of age now in this saving. Looks really, really good. For one of those CDM roles, could definitely be a starter going forward for us. Straight away, high work rate, good vision, passing of 15, first touch of 15, composure 13, decision making 14. There's not much you can't like about this player in FM this year. So we have mentioned him already. Usman Diamonde also made the switch now over here to Nottingham Forest. He left Sporting for £56 million. It's a big old transfer, but Nick going out the door. I needed someone to come sit in that position now in that right centre-back role. I do feel like Diamonde offers just that 6'3", jump and reach of 15. I love that, heading of 14. And again, lots of good attributes about him. 14 across the board, passing of 16, vision of 17 for a centre-back as well. Ball playing centre-back, he is your guy, 100%. Diamonde comes in, big money transfer, but looks very well worth it. Then 2 free transfers came in. Jonathan Bamba, who mentioned a minute ago in that game we saw against Spurs, he came on a free transfer as well. Can play out wide forward, can play through the middle, can play as a striker, but will probably play as a utility player on this left and right hand side for this season. And Renier coming in, of course, after leaving Real Madrid on a free transfer. I don't know where he'll fit in. Again, probably a backup player, 24 years of age. He looks okay, but nothing too special. But again, a good backup player to bring in. Then joined, finally, because of course we lost Owoni for 60 million, so we spent 75 million on Arnold Callum Wendo coming in from Rennes. He's absolutely incredible striker this year. Look at those attributes. 15s and 16s everywhere you look for all the key attributes for a striker. He looks so good. 24 years of age now on 115 grand a week. So a lot of money to pay the guy, but him and Ivan Toney is our front two this season. Sounds absolutely insane. And now going into that new season, this is how we're looking now with the MurphFM Overload 4-2-4 formation. You can see on screen right now, Turner in goal with Johnson, Diamonde, Kea and Kinape at the back with Batrinia and Decore just in front of them. Alicia Almada, Ivan Toney and Callum Wendo making up that forward four there. I mean, the likes of Vasquez, Leonardo, Bambe, Kaiki on the bench still. Leo Messi currently on the bench in this save as well. I mean, 175 grand a week and he's going to be sitting on the bench for the season as our backup player for a few different roles, of course. The likes of Savio being there, Renier, Luis Porta are also there, and Jay Van Just, who we just brought in as well, also on the bench. The squad looks really good. It's our first one now back in the UEFA Champions League. How will we get on as we now simulate through season number 4? So we are back for the end of season number 4 now. We'll start off with the domestic cups, going into Europe and going into the Premier League table itself. So what happened in the Carabao Cup? We got knocked out by Tottenham Hotspur on penalties after beating them at the start of the season with our new strikers. They came and taken us again here at the City Ground, beating us on penalties, being knocked out in the Carabao Cup. Then we got to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup against West Ham this time around, losing 3-2 in that one. Again, we just couldn't go any further than that. We looked pretty good with Callum Wendo and Alicia getting the goals in that one, but an own goal in extra time from Joe Worrell. Joe, what are you doing? And even then, it shouldn't have gone there. Looking at that, though, they scored in the 96th minute as well. On Hyun Guyo, got on the 96th minute, took it extra time, and then Worrell put it in his own net. This is getting knocked out of the FA Cup. But on the plus side, nice to see Leo Messi made an appearance from the bench as well. Then onto the UEFA Champions League, of course. We managed to get as far as the playoffs. Of course, it's the new league format. We can dive into that league format quickly and have a look how it looked. Nottingham Forest came 10th in the end. That's not bad. We're narrowly, literally, we were level on points with the likes of Munich and Barcelona. Did really well. Played 8 games, winning 5, drawing 1, only losing 2 the entire time to both Liverpool and Napoli. But in the process, we managed to beat Marseille, Red Star, Atletico Madrid, Ludogorets and Lazio in the progress of getting that far in the competition. But it wasn't to go much further than that because then we took on Juventus and we got absolutely battered 9-2 by Juventus. So much for winning the Champions League. But of course, it isn't just the Champions League we're looking forward to this season because, of course, the Premier League season is back. And even though we got 5th this season, same as last year, we don't get Champions League football because things have changed quite a lot. Man U won the league, Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal. We get Europa League football going to next season. So to drop down for the Champions League going to season number 5, we will not be winning the Champions League this year because, of course, it's the last year of the season and the rebuild's going to be over, so no Champions League football. But what else can we do going into this new season? Of course, in the Premier League, we won 21, drew 6, lost 11 games. Still conceded 61 goals this season, so I do feel like keeper could be a position now we need to improve because defensively, we've changed a lot and we're still conceding a hell of a lot of goals. Scoring 78, we scored more goals than Arsenal, but again, the likes of United, Liverpool and Man City still getting more goals than us. So we still need that one extra push to try and get top 4, which I think should be the goal now for this final season. Going into this last year of the rebuild, try and get top 4 going now into season number 5. In terms of the finances, 75 million in the bank. There's a lot of money to spend. And I think we can build a team good enough to challenge for a top 4 finish in season number 5. So let's simulate now to the start of season number 5 and see what we've done with this team and how we've managed to spend all of that money. On a side note, Leo Messi, done pretty good. Played 23 games this season. 2 goals, 2 assists. You love to see it. So we are back then for the new season, season number 5. And of course, transfers have been happening. We've been very busy getting rid of some players and, of course, bringing in some brand new players. So let's go to the ones we brought in first, of course. At the end of that season, I said we need a new goalkeeper. And Robert Sanchez was available on loan from Chelsea. So we thought, you know what? Why not get Sanchez in? He looks a very good keeper still. 29 years of age. Looks really good. Definitely an improvement on Matt Turner. And then we saw MESSI was available from Leeds for 35 million. So we went and bought him instead. So now we have 2 amazing keepers. Matt Turner, I'm sorry, mate, but I think you're going out the door. We could have bought in 2 better keepers already. We're going back now to the end of last season, of course. Antonio Blanco is available from Arsenal. They'd bought him in. I mean, to be fair, they bought him from Alaves for 25 million. A year later, not a bad resale. They bought him, we sold him for 30 million. So, I mean, 5 million extra. We bought him in. I do think Antonio Blanco has a lot to offer in midfield. Very good utility player. Can play a few different roles in midfield as well. In terms of playing Mazzala, Calera, centre midfielder, box to box, and even in that DM role as well. Can play the anchor, can play the DM, and he, of course, can play that Segundo Volante, which we do have in our system this year. Ticks a lot of the boxes. Looks really good. High work rate, high tackling, high passing. Has it all I like. So, hopefully, Blanco can be an important part of this midfield this season. So, that's what happened this season. And then Leon Goretzka. We bought in Blanco to be that Volante this season. And then Leon Goretzka was available on a free transfer. At the age of 32, he still looks absolutely insane. I was like, we can't not sign Leon Goretzka. We're paying 235 grand a week. We're paying so much money now. But look at the attributes on the screen at 32 years of age. Tell me in the comment section, would you spend that sort of wage on Leon Goretzka at age 32? For me, it's a no-brainer. It had to be done. Goretzka comes in as now we can go into the start of season number 5. And speaking of starting season number 5, this is how we're going to line up for that new season. Now, of course, Goretzka comes in that Volante role. Decore moves into that DLP role now. Defensively, look the same. Sanchez is in goal right now, but of course, we have to put Meslier into Meslier. Probably will be starting this season for me instead. Elise, Almada, Calamuendo, and Tony still leading the line for us. I mean, bench-wise, is still very strong. The likes of Bamba being on that bench. Luis Portas looks pretty good, even though he's quite happy because he wants to lead the club. Cahilla, Leonardo, Blanco, and so many more. Going to season number 5, let's see how we get on now as we're going to simulate through this season and see how we got on in season number 5. So we are back for season number 5. We're going to start things off with the Carabao Cup as Arsenal knocked us out early doors and in the 3rd round. A 2-0 defeat against Arsenal. See us getting knocked out early doors. We can't even view it anymore. It's so long ago. At the Carabao Cup, not a great start to the season for us here. Then, followed by the 4th round of the FA Cup, being knocked out by Newcastle in this one as well. 3-0 defeat in that one. Domestically, we just can't seem to get any luck winning some silverware with the English League trophies. But where we have failed to win a trophy in England, missing out on the FA Cup, missing out on the League Cup, of course, we've absolutely managed to win another trophy in Europe this season. Of course, we qualified for the Europa League last season, and we got all the way to a final versus Frankfurt. In that final, it was an end-to-end game as well, ending 5-4 in the end. Nottingham Forest taking all the plaudits in this one and winning, of course, the Europa League trophy. Our 2nd European trophy within this rebuild, of course. We won the Europa Conference League back in season number 3, and now in season number 5, we've managed to win the Europa League itself. Great turn by Tony here on the goal, puts it home, beautiful finish. A great game. Lots of goals, 5-4, end-to-end stuff as well. This game is really enjoyable to watch and play along with as well. Great ball. Mario Götze as well. Götze getting a lot of goals for Frankfurt in this tactic as well. You can see here. Bamba wins the ball back. Leonardo this time. Big ball over the top. Finds Luis Porter. Drills it past the keeper for that one. The 86th minute. And then the final goal came at this point here. 96th minute now. Insape puts the ball in. Finds Leonardo. Decore edge of the box. Smashes it home. And it wasn't to be the final goal because, of course, that took the extra time after all that as well. And the match just kept going here. Sanchez had a shot. Howard Bayes, he deflects it in. But it was not enough for Frankfurt this time around because you can see Leonardo gets the ball now. Keeps running forward. And looking lucky for us, he hits a Agba Puma and goes in as an own goal in the end. And it was enough, of course, to see Nottingham Forest win the Europa League in season number 5. But of course, it wouldn't just be that competition. We'd try and win this season because we did try and push Man City. I say we tried to push them. You can see the point difference. We're really far away, but we got Nottingham Forest 2nd in the Premier League in season number 5. What an achievement for this Forest team, getting them 2nd place this season. Winning 21 games, drawing 10, and only losing 7 games all season. Conceded 43 goals, so again, still more goals than Liverpool and Man City, but it's less than Arsenal, Chelsea, and some of the other teams in the division. So we've done a lot better defensively with a brand new keeper being in the 6th for the season. But we won the Europa League this season, and we managed to get 2nd place in the Premier League. So there we have it then. We took Nottingham Forest from a team struggling towards the relegation zone at the start of season number 1, pushed them all the way to win a Europa Conference League, a Europa League, and a 2nd place finish in our final season in the Premier League. This Forest team looks absolutely insane. And of course, if you want the save files to try this out yourselves, join the Patreon, and you can get the rebuild files within those tiers on Patreon. If you have enjoyed this episode, of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and let me know in the comment section if you've done some different transfers, if you've been the manager at Nottingham Forest during this rebuild. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again very, very soon.